Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU According to CD. That is Government of National Unity, and the Government of National Unity is at work. Guys, I am so happy that we are supporting this GNU because they are showing up. You know, there's one thing supporting something you don't see, and nobody is being transparent about anything. And also, the part that really drove South Africans up the wall is that whenever we screamed or cried or said something, nobody listened. It was like we were in a room full of people standing on top of the table and screaming on top of our lungs, and nobody still hear us. Now that there's a GNU, we are being listened to. Now, there is a raid going on at restaurants in Sandton. One of these restaurants is called Tang. I've been to Tang before, and let me tell you something 99% of the waiters that they are busy checking their citizenship status are not South African citizens. You watch and see.
But we are now in Sandton City, Iman. In fact, we've just come into a restaurant called Tang. We have the officials at this point, as you can see, that's Labour Department. They've asked all the employees to report to this area. We understand that there's going to be just over 6 restaurants that are going to be inspected in the area. You've got immigration. Immigration is going to be looking at the paperwork and in terms of whether South Africans are employed or not. But I want to bring in now the chief inspector in Gauteng, and I want to ask you now. So we can see you already calling people in. Could you perhaps explain to us what is the process now?
Well, good. I'm not sure if it's still the morning. Good morning to everyone. The process is that when we arrive here, we need to then make sure that all laws are complied with, including immigration laws. That is why we call the employees so that we can check their status in the Republic of South Africa, which will be done by our sister department, the officials, Department of Home Affairs. And in our case, the Department of Employment and Labour will also interview them to check if they are earning the national minimum wage and if safety is observed here. But we'll also do a walk-through inspection for safety, and we'll check if they are also registered with unemployment insurance and the commission fund. So that will check using their identity documents.
Advocate, I know there's a lot that you are going to do today, but did you perhaps profile specific restaurants that you are going to?
Well, we checked restaurants in general. We did not profile the specific restaurant, and we said we were, reacting to non-compliance in this particular industry because we have a lot of complaints that came from this industry. So we thought that we should then do blitz inspections. So generally, we're doing blitz inspections in all the restaurants in the province, starting from yesterday. But today we are on a joint inspection with other sister departments so that we strengthen the high-level, high-impact inspections that we are doing. So the binding council is also part of us today and the Department of Home Affairs.
You spoke about national minimum wage. Take us through what is the usual occurrence in the restaurant industry when it comes to these things, and what is it that you expect them to do correctly?
Well, we expect the current national minimum wage to be complied with, which is 28 Rand 76 cents in terms of the collective agreement of the bargaining council and 27 Rand 58 cents in terms of the national minimum wage of the Department of Employment and Labour. But in this case, because here in Sandton, there's a collective agreement, the collective agreement rate, which is better, will be the applicable one for 28 Rand 76 cents.
And whilst you look at that national minimum wage, there's also issues in terms of who employs who, and you were explaining this to us. What are restaurants and who exactly is supposed to be employed in a restaurant, and how does that work?
Well, South Africans are supposed to be employed in a restaurant, and if you've got to employ a person from another country, then that person should be possessing a skill that we don't have in the country. So in the restaurant industry, usually I cannot think of anything that will make an employer to employ foreign national, because otherwise, what skill will we prove to say this specific skill we don't have in the country? But the employers are allowed to employ foreign nationals, rate, but they should also South Africans and prove that they do not have that skill and apply for a work permit to the Department of Home Affairs, which will come through the Department of Employment and Labour, where we'll then inspect compliance with the employer and recommend to Home Affairs whether the employer deserves to be given a work permit or a corporate permit. But in the case of restaurants, well, they'll have to then justify why would you employ foreign national.
And of course, you were talking about the fact that most restaurants are found to not really comply. Why is this?
They definitely don't comply, and we suspect that the employment of foreign nationals, based on the interventions that we made and what we established from the previous inspections, is that they underpay them, they do not comply with the national minimum wage, and that is why we say they do not employ foreign nationals because they love them, but because they are able to abuse them and knowing that they might not approach the Department of Employment and Labour. Whereas we say as the department that everyone is entitled to a national minimum wage, irrespective of his nationality, and that must be complied with. And in their case also, where we find them non-compliant, it's in terms of gas installations when we come to occupational health and safety. But then The hardest hit section is usually the waitresses and waiters who are usually paid on commission and only on interest. So we say that is not in terms of the law. They must be paid in terms of the national minimum wage or the wage of a collective agreement because it's a better wage.
And it's not only Tang in Sandton, all the restaurants in Sandton, yes, including Trump's, they are, I'm telling you, I've eaten in those places, and the waiters that have served me, they've never been South African citizens. But I feel like they are skipping Rosebank, the mothership. Rosebank is the mothership of restaurants that do not like South African citizens. They don't like employing South Africans. But then again, Sandton is just as close to Rosebank. Who knows? Maybe they are going to go to Rosebank as well. But I would have loved them to start in Rosebank. Close some of those restaurants down because they disrespect the people of South Africa. And most of the restaurant owners themselves are not South Africans. They are mostly Italians, French, Americans, and I think some South Americans that own those restaurants in Rosebank, and they do not hire South Africans. I mean, they don't hire South Africans. In the interview, if you're looking for a job and they called you, the first question they ask you, where do you come from? They say you come from South Africa. That interview will last literally 2 seconds. You'll be out that door. So Rosebank is a guilty party, probably the guiltiest party. And then you go to Cape Town. They need to also do the same thing they are doing with restaurants in the tourism industry, the trucking industry. Man, there is a lot of mess that needs to be cleaned that was caused by the ANC. What was this party doing to South Africans? Let's be honest, people. What was the ANC doing to South Africans? Clearly, we were voting cows. They had the audacity to come seeking for votes from us, and then the moment we give it to them, they are happy that people that do not belong here coming to take exactly what they promised the people of South Africa. There will be job creation, there will be business opportunities, there will be this and there will be that, and then we all get excited and we go and vote. No, it was not for you, South Africans. It was for the foreign nationals, the ones that are illegal, but will come back to you in next 5 years so that you can vote and bring more people. Not you, South Africans. No, 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 no. You don't deserve this job. You don't deserve to work at all. But you must vote. Come on, ANC. Your evilness is being exposed. It's being exposed. Look at what you've done to South Africans. So now there is a raid going on in Sandton. Apparently, they are going to be raiding 6 restaurants, or they already raiding 6 restaurants in Sandton. So hopefully, in the next few weeks, we are going to see posts being posted for unemployed to come and be trained as waiters, hosts, runners, as well as you guys already know, restaurants also need clean dishes. And this part of the restaurant job, it was what I used to do as a student, and I feel very passionate about being a dishwasher at the restaurant. All right. I think I enjoy it more than I enjoyed being a waiter, even though being a waiter paid more than being a dishwasher because you used to get tips with what do you call this, waitering. However, though, the attitude of some people, if you don't know me, I'm not good with people. In fact, not that I'm not good, like I don't like, it's just that I'm not good at responding at people. I'm a cancer. So as a cancer, my patience is very long, but once it gets to that line, I'm destructive. Oh, super destructive. So that is why I don't like being in front of people. I would rather be with the dishes. And I know they're not going to answer back. They're not going to demand things that are impossible. They are not going to point out some strand of hair clearly that I don't have and all that stuff. But, anyways, the restaurant industry or the hospitality industry needs to be rated as a whole, including Airbnb, hotels. Oh, yeah, let's not forget the security industry. I was having some conversations with some people who worked at security, like these security companies. And I've seen this before as well, where you will find that South Africans, they don't get promoted in the security industry. Most of the supervisors and the managers are foreign nationals, and their jobs and their only jobs is to make sure that South African workers do not join unions. Yeah, the moment you join a union and you're working for a security company, you'll be vilified until you quit. And most of these guys said I was being vilified on a daily basis to a point where I thought, no, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And then they end up quitting. And the worst part about this is that the unions like your COSATU, they employ the what you call their members to the employer. All the employer does is that okay, Kosatu, how can we shut you up? And then Kosatu will name a price, R1 million, and then the worker thinking that they a union is going to fight for them, and the next thing you are dismissed. Like really, guys, really, as the people of South Africa, we need to stop being fooled. Let's stop being fooled. Let's start seeing tangibility. If you say you're going to protect me, show me. Show me how you're going to protect me. And that way, I am going to build my trust with you. Let's not just give people our trust like that. We are in the situation we're in because we easily trust. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. So, anyways, I thought let me just show you guys what is currently happening in Sandton right now. And apparently, restaurants, I told y'all, if you guys continue to operate like you have been doing in the past, they are coming for you. They are coming for you. You are going to be arrested. You see, the Tang restaurant owner, chances are he's also going to be, or she's going to be arrested, or they are going to be arrested for hiring foreign nationals. Unless overnight or during the past few days, they've rehired a new staff and they're all South Africans. Because some that is exactly what they'll be doing to avoid jail and exposure of other things they are probably doing. But anyways, let's see how it all pans out. Let's see Ocean Basket. Let's see Spur. Let's see all of these popular food eateries also being raided. No South Africans work there. Why do they hate South Africans? What have we done to y'all? What have we done to your restaurant owners? I would like to know. And some of these restaurant owners are black owners. South African black owners of these restaurants. They are doing this to South Africans. Why? What have we done to you? Hmm? What have we done to you? I care. It's a good thing that is happening. Let it continue to happen. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Goodbye.